up, everybody? Welcome back. We are here, week 4 of Esports Performance Camps going on. Huge shout out to Esports Camps hosting this, putting this together. I've been watching their videos over these last few weeks. I've definitely got better at League of Legends already. I haven't been diving much into Fortnite or Valorant right now, but my League of Legends skills have gone up, and it's thanks to you guys. So I want to give you guys a shout out. Thank you for making me less of a scrub and more of a gamer, right? More of an esport athlete. And I want to dive right into something about that with becoming an esport athlete as opposed to just being a gamer. Okay, so let's think about that a little bit. If you're in college, okay, if you're in college and you enjoy playing volleyball, but you're not at a very high level, you play most likely intramural volleyball, where it's just for fun. Your teams might practice a little bit. You probably don't work out together as a team. You guys probably don't structure your plays, or there's not much effort that goes into the intramural games. Okay, so I want to say, I want to compare intramural college sports to actual college sports and compare and contrast that to gaming and esports, right? So with intramural college sports, there's not much, we'll just say there's not as much effort that goes into it as there is in actual sports, especially if you're on a team or if you have a scholarship. When you go into real sports, you have practices, okay? You guys go over footage, either whether it's film, whether it's learning new plays, whether it's understanding the next team you're about to play. You guys have some back when I used to do club, we would have team dinners, okay? Team dinners before our big games so we can load up on carbs and make sure we have enough fuel in our system. We would have early morning workouts to make sure that we were strong enough and healthy enough and reduce our chances of injury so we'd be better athletes. But just what I'm saying is there's so much that goes into sports and so athletic sports, very high level play, and intramural. So that gaming versus esports. So let's break it down to where we're at, to our reality. A lot of us are all of us are gamers, right? But which ones of us want to become esport athletes? Okay? What do I mean by that? It means, what are you going to do to take your game to the next level, and are you going to do everything you can to be the best version of yourself every day in your esport? Right? Just because a lot of people talk poorly upon esports because they don't think it's a sport, and it's up to us, it's up to you to start showing the world that there's more to video gaming, there's more to gaming than just the game. That's why we're running these human performance camps, to show you guys that, and girls, to show you the importance of healthcare and making sure you are taking care of your mind, taking care of your body, which in turn helps you become a better gamer. Okay, so with esports and gaming, I think earlier I had them like this, so we'll switch them again, right? Esports and gaming. Gamers, you play a lot of video games, you don't take it that seriously, you do it for fun, and that's great. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be better, if you want to take it to the next level, that's when you have to start putting in the extra work. Okay, so there's more than just, let's just use Fortnite for example. In Fortnite, you have creative mode, and that would kind of be like a practice, right? For you to practice your. I'll compare it to volleyball. When you need to learn how to hit a line shot, or you need to learn how to tip, or you need to learn how to set better, that's when you go away, you step out of the actual game, and you go practice that one single motion. So in Fortnite, you got kids practicing a single edit thousands of times, so they get better at it. we want to make sure that whatever sport you're playing, which is in this term, whatever game you are playing, you are following everything you need to do to become better instead of just getting in there and gaming, because you need to have a plan. If you want to get better, you need to have a plan. You don't need to have a coach, but a coach is always going to help you get better if they know what they're talking about. You need to have a team. Okay, some esports are single player, but let's just say we're talking team esports right now. Teams are great. That's one of my favorite parts of physical sports is the competitive aspect of it, is the team camaraderie and the building and the community that you can create from that aspect. So having a team, again, let's go back to Fortnite, the duos, even one other person to help hold you accountable, one other person to set up a schedule with, one other person to say, hey bud, did you do your stretches today? Did you work out today? Did you get outside today? Did you drink your water today? Did you get enough sleep last night? Because we got a big game coming up, and I want my teammate to be the best version of himself he can be every single time he goes to play. So with that being said, with a teammate, you got accountability, and you want to make sure that you aren't letting this person down. So you have to really push yourself and make sure you're doing everything you can do to be the best version of yourself that day. I'm gonna shout out my boy Preston right now. I doubt you're getting enough sleep. I can guarantee some of these high-level competitors are losing out on performance due to sleep. I can guarantee that. They don't realize it, but when they are grinding for 16 hours the day before, and then they have a big day-long tournament for the next day, like, your brain cannot keep up with the demands that you're asking from it. You might feel like you're doing well, but if you were to cut that day before into like let's just say 4 hours or something much less, you can give your brain more time to relax, more time to heal, and then it'll be in a better state for when you're ready to play. When that big day comes, we call it peaking in sports performance. For example, I have a football team that it is playoffs in 8 weeks. And during playoffs, they need to be at their highest physical possible state because that is when they're playing the best teams. So we ramp up their training and we ramp up their performance to be at its tip-top shape on X day. All right, so if we are trying, let's just say for easy numbers, April 1st, or today's is May 1st. It's perfect. May 1st, we have 1 month to prep our team for the tournament. So let's turn that into esports world. I bet you there's a tournament in a month from now in one esport game. All right. We need to backtrack. We need to make sure that month before you guys are starting to understand the film, starting to look into what you should be doing as an athlete to go into that opposing team, that game. Make sure you're getting the proper nutrition, hydration, sleep. Make sure you're managing your stress. Stress is actually what we're going to be talking about today. That's why I'm kind of diving into this. Make sure you're managing your stress levels properly so your body can heal and recover. And then from there, you can start tapering it closer and closer to game day. And in sports, you play less the closer you get to game day because you need your physical body to be ready. You need your physical body to be at its best physical shape, and the brain is no different. I'm not saying cut out all gaming that week before, but you playing for 8 extra hours isn't going to make the difference between you being in first place and you being in second place, or even like 50th place, right? All the time you put in, the weeks, the months, the hundreds of hours beforehand is what's really going to make the impact. So we need to make sure that you're rested. That's going to make you a better athlete, making sure you are healthy, making sure your body's rested, your mind is rested, and you are managing your stress levels appropriately so you can handle this huge mental load that's about to be dumped onto you, right? So we want to make sure that your body can handle that. The stress is going to go way up because you're competing in a tournament, so you're going to be more stressed already. If you have already some extra stress that's been hanging on, you haven't addressed it, now you're just piling those up, and you might not be able to compete at your highest level. Your brain will limit what you can do, right? You might not realize it, but your brain will do that. So let's get back into stress. and I wanna go over what we're doing today in class. All right, we'll call it class today. I do want to teach you guys. That's my goal. My goal is to teach so anybody and everybody here has this knowledge to go forward today, tomorrow, and become a better gamer or esport athlete. Okay, just become a better person overall, physical and mental. So first thing I want to talk about is stress, and what it can do to the body, and what are different types of stress, and how should we handle that. When we talk about stress, I want to make it very simple. I want to talk about an internal stress and an external stress. Internal stress would be something like a relationship you're in is causing you to have uh, anxiety, or causing you to, maybe you just got broken up with, and now you're a little bit sad. You have some, maybe you're in depression. And if those are the case, remember to make sure to go seek healthcare, a healthcare professional. Make sure you reach out to somebody who's there. I'm there if anybody ever needs to reach out. Being in those tough positions, you can always reach out to me 24/7. I will get back to you if I ever see a message like that. I'm definitely all open on ears on that. So if you're broken up with in a relationship, that's some extra stress in your life, and that's an internal stressor. That's not something that is physically damaging your body, but it can down the road. Okay, so something that's a stress that's physically damaging your body would be sitting all day long. It might not be a lot of stress, but that's going to cause possible injuries down the road when we don't maintain proper posture and awareness of our body. Other physical stress, we'll call these good stressors, is working out. Okay, there are limits on what we should do for workouts, but stress on the body is different ways. When you work out, you're putting stress on the body to help it grow, because it needs to be uncomfortable. It needs to be stressed out so that you can force it to grow and gain the results, the physical results you're looking for. It doesn't always work that way when we deal with internal stress. Internal stress is different. If you don't handle it or manage it, it can have serious health problems down the line. I'm not going to start citing studies or anything like that right now, but there is so much proof that stress is one of the leading causes of people to have medical problems. And that is just crazy when we can start to address these stressors through tools that you already own as a person, or you're born with these tools, and that can help your body down the road. If we're trying to be a well-rounded athlete and we want to make sure that we are staying healthy during our whole career, we need to make sure that we are looking at the big picture, not at what's going on right now in the screen of your game of Fortnite. You need to address the whole thing as a whole. So that's the two types of stress that we're going to address today, internal and external. And then we need to understand how we handle these stressors. A lot of people handle stress differently. I handle stress very differently now than I used to back in the day. I started to address the ways that I handled stress when I was in a very dark mental place, and I started taking yoga as my first source of addressing my stressors and to gain a control over them. And then today we're going to be doing it's not yoga, I'm not a yoga instructor, we're going to be stretching, and we might be in some yoga poses. But it's mainly going to be a 30-minute stretching session today. I hope everybody really likes it. But what we got going on with the stressors, how do we handle them? A lot of people, let's talk with the unhealthy ways first, and then we'll travel into the healthy ways we handle stress. Two common ways people handle stress is they ignore it. They just, all right, whatever. I'm not going to deal with that right now. Don't matter to me. Or they bottle it up. They let it build up inside of them. And then eventually, right, what happens? Right, that bottle, that pressure from all that stress, eventually is going to pop that lid off. The bottle's going to break. Something's going to happen. And there's going to be some negative side effect in your life because the problems were not addressed originally and how they should have been. If you were to address the problem as they come, as you could handle it one little step at a time, it's going to be much more manageable than 5 years down the line after you have all this other trauma built up. So if you do start seeing stress in your life, make sure you bring awareness to it and try to address it. Always seeking help from a professional is very important as well. So those are two unhealthy ways to address stress. Some healthier ways to address stress is, first off, understanding where the stress is coming from and trying to address it. Not I'm mainly talking to youth right now. I'm going to be assuming kids that are probably under 18. And if you're not under 18, all this stuff applies to everybody. But if you are younger, you might not be as mature or might not be as aware as others. And if you think something's going on or something's stressing you out, find somebody who you can trust to talk to about that with. Um, it could just be your parent, it could be your teacher, it could be your coach, it could be your friend. You just want somebody who can give you a different opinion, somebody that you trust, a different opinion on what is going on in your life, and hopefully you guys can address that. Um, Make sure you address where the stress is coming from. Don't just try to ignore it, but if you can find the root source of it, the cause of it, then that's what's going to really help in the long run. And then after that, if you need to, you can seek a doctor. They have professionals that do this. I use meditation, I breathe, and I like to work out as some of my extra ways to help with the stress on my body, as opposed to, in combination of directly dealing with it and addressing the problem. But breathing, if I ever have anxiety problems, that's the first thing I go to. I don't like to take medication, prescription medication. I try to stay away from that. I have had more success with using my secret weapons, my own breathing techniques that I've learned and developed, and I've had much more success with those than I have with medication. I also get faster results with the breathing because it does it to the nervous system, as opposed to you taking a pill. Your body has to digest it, and then once it digests it, then it spreads it out to the whatever parts of the body that's going to help you release different chemicals. When we can address the nervous system as a whole, the whole body gets addressed, and allows it to heal, which is what we really are trying to do at the end of the day, is just heal and help become better people. Um, Stress can do a lot of different things to our body, and that's why I want to talk about it today, and I want to show us ways that we can help with stress. I'm going to show us some physical ways that we can help with stress through stretching, through working out. Is also, we've done workouts in the past. Today we're just going to focus on stretching, which is very important, especially if you are a very active person or not active. Either way, stretching is very important. We want to make sure that we are, let's see, what stress can do to your bodies. Stress can, okay, a lot of period. Okay, I brought this up earlier about how internal stress can have huge side effects down the road if we don't address it. And that's really a big concern with what's going on in today's age. We have kids that are just locked in on their screens. They detach from reality. If they have any stress going on in their life, this is their escape. And it's not a healthy way to deal with those problems. And that's how I used to deal with my problems as well. And luckily, I became aware of it and I started to address it. And video games became a lot more fun to me when I started looking at it as, this is my sport, right? This is what I do for fun. This is what I love this. I'm competitive. I want to be the best at this, as opposed to just saying, oh, I'm just going to go game today. I'm just going to go get on and play. I like the competitive aspect, and it just helps me become a better person every day. So make sure you are not ignoring these underlying problems is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, cool. So we're going to get into the workout. What are we, 20 minutes into today's session? Guys, if you have any questions so far, please don't hesitate to drop them into the chat. We're going to go over what we're doing today. It's going to be a yoga workout. It's going to be about 30 minutes long. I will have my timer going. I'm going to set a timer. It's going to be a minute and a half on each area. It'll go off. I'll switch to the next part. Hopefully at the end of it, I'll be around 30 minutes or so. If you've done yoga, great. If you've done yoga, great, and you are aware that it's important to, well, hopefully you're aware that it's important to breathe during all these things. Make sure today your most important focus, besides listening to me and understanding what we're doing, is listening to yourself and listening to your breath, and making sure you are breathing during all this. If you start to tense up and hold your breath when you're stretching, the muscles won't relax. Okay, so we use our secret weapon. That's what I call a secret weapon. It gets us more out of everything. It gets us these extra 10, 20% of performance off these little things that we normally do, and it just makes them even better for us. When we do yoga, you want to make sure you're bringing awareness to your breath. You want to make sure you're thinking about, you're setting your intentions on what you're trying to do, so you are aware that you want to, all right, I'm getting into my workout today. I want to be more relaxed after this. I want my back pain to be gone after this workout. Great. I'm going to focus on that during the whole time. If I have back pain during any of this, I'm going to step back. I'm going to pause. I'm going to try to figure out what's causing that. I'm going to address it, and then I'll get back into wherever I left off. We are going to need some tools today. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes, hopefully, to try to find these. If you have them, if you don't, all good. I'll show you ways where you don't need any tools. What I got going on today, let me switch out of this big screen, or this small screen here. We're going to go to the big screen, full cam. There it is. All right, cool. What we got going on today, this over here. Perfect. So what we got going on today, remember, number one, water. Rule number one, drink plenty of water. Number two, we are going to, you don't need a yoga mat. You don't need that. You can use the floor, you can use carpet, you can use whatever. Yoga mat gives me a little bit more traction when I do some stuff, but today's gonna be, everything's gonna be passive stretching, so nothing crazy. If you have a ball, if you have a lacrosse ball, if you have a baseball, if you have a golf ball, that's gonna be a good start. We're gonna start by rolling out our feet with that. If you have that stick that we used from the past, get the stick, okay? The stick works just as good as the ball does. And we're just gonna start by rolling out our feet. This will be our first thing. And if you are lucky enough to have a super band, then grab that. If not, you can grab a cord, you can grab a rope, you can grab, honestly, you can grab a charging cable from like your phone. As long as you don't put too much pressure on it, it'll still help you with what we're trying to achieve. We're going to use that to help stretch out some of our muscles. You might need a pillow. I'm going to use this foam pad here. I'm going to use my handy dandy foam pad to help protect my knees when we do certain stretches. You might need a chair. Okay, a chair will help on one of the stretches. You don't need it, but it can help on one of the stretches. I think that's it. So hopefully, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to go get that stuff ready. I'm going to set up my laptop over there. I'm going to get it plugged in so it doesn't die. That's very important for me. Got to follow my workout plan. Okay. I think it's going to be a great day today. I'm not sure where everybody's at. I am super lucky to be in beautiful Thousand Oaks, California. Might be going to the beach this weekend, right? The weather is beautiful. Please take advantage. If you're lucky enough to be in a beautiful state where it's sunny and no clouds in the sky and there's no rain, please take advantage of it. Get out in the sun. Take some breaks in between your games during the day. It will 100% help you become a better gamer by taking breaks. You don't believe me because you don't try it. Trust me. Take a break from your game so you don't get tilted. Take a break, go on a walk, go do a stretch, go get water, whatever it is. Come back. You tell me you're not a better gamer, right? You try to tell me that because you have dealt with the stress, right? If you're tilted, that's stress. Okay, your body's not handling it well most of the time. Usually tilt off the edge of the world and off into oblivion, and then now you're 0-7 on bot lane, and your support keeps yelling at you. So that's a League of Legends reference. I know we were talking about Fortnite earlier, but then now we're talking about League. Let me go to my phone, set a timer so I can stay on track. Okay, timer's gonna get started. Oh, this is gonna run us all the way to the end, hopefully. I'm gonna pop up every few seconds, every few minutes to check the chat. But other than that, Hopefully you have all your equipment, a ball or a stick, some type of rope can work, extension cord, charging cable, super band, a pillow, a yoga mat, a chair, and your water. Don't forget your water. Okay. What we're doing, we're just gonna start basic stretches. A lot of people have trap tightness, upper neck tightness, and I want to. We're gonna start there, and it's gonna be super basic. Grab my chair again, because you're gonna need it. Start my timer. I'm gonna put everything on a minute timer for right now. Cool. So what we're doing, get to the edge of your seat. Make sure you're nice and tall, good tall posture. Make sure our head is not projected forward. Make sure your ears are stacked above your shoulder. And what we're gonna do is we're trying to stretch out our lateral neck muscles, right? So the traps on the side of our neck. First thing I want you to do is find out how far you can go without pain. If there's no pain, beautiful. You should start feeling stretching on this opposing side. If you have any pain or tightness on this inside, then that's something that we need to address. You probably should be going to a physical therapist. But if you have none, we're just going to stretch out this lateral side. Do not crank on your head. Barely, just use the weight of your fingertips to help pull that neck a little bit farther. And what I'm doing with my left hand, I'm putting it under my chair to allow for this arm to really lengthen, and I'm leaning away from it. Okay, I'm gonna stop my timer before it goes off. Let that hit for another. There we go. Hey, I turned you off. Literally turned you off. Okay. We're gonna go 10 more seconds on this side. Make sure you're aware of your posture. Everything I want you guys today is gonna be in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, so breathe in through the nose, down into the belly, and then exhale. Every exhale is a chance for your body to relax a little bit more. All right, we're gonna switch sides. Again, nice tall posture. Active, this is our active range. This is my bad side, okay? So I do have injuries on my left side of my body, and you guys might be able to see the difference from me going left to right. I'm not gonna force this any much further actively, but passively, I have no pain. So I'm stretching out this side over here. I have no pain. I'm going to keep this hand down on the ground after I reset my timer one more time. Again, breathe nice and tall. Your goal is to try to get this ear as close as you can to your shoulder without forcing anything. As long as you can feel a good stretch, that's fine. Don't force it. You don't need to force past these ranges of motion. Here we go, 10 more seconds. Keep breathing, one more breath. Inhale, exhale. Good. All right, so basic starting on the neck. Like I was saying, if you have any, these called closing angles. If you have any closing angle pain, that's not good. It's something you really need to address. I know I already have problems over here. I have some torn stuff in my shoulder. You might see me compensate. You might see me adjust the workouts appropriately for myself. But let's keep moving. So we did the neck. All right, after the neck, we're gonna move down a little bit. And I think we're just gonna go right to the T-spine. Yep, so we addressed the neck. And now we're going to address the T-spine here, which is your thoracic spine. This is the main focus of the area. How we're gonna do that, multiple ways to do it. Today's all gonna mainly be passive stretching so we can focus on our breathing. We did this one last week. Doesn't have to be complex. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna use my water bottle to help me out a little bit today. I'll lay on my side. I'm gonna start my timer. I'm gonna put it at 120 because I need to talk for 20 seconds before we get going. Okay, so first thing we gotta do is make sure that everything's straight, hips are stacked, and that's what's gonna help this water bottle. So I'm gonna bend my knees to 90. I'm gonna put my cold hydro flask between my legs, and that's gonna help my hips stay in alignment. And I have this desk behind me, so I can't do it all the way, but normally you'd open up here and just let that hand drop. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep that on my side, and I'm just gonna let my shoulder drop to the ground. Okay, I'm trying to keep my knees stacked, trying to keep my hips stacked, trying to rotate in where my ribs start. All right, so I'm trying to rotate on my ribs, and now this is when I start to breathe. All right, so we got 30 more seconds here. We're literally just get to lay out today. Breathe. And stretch. Because sometimes just sitting all day long makes our body really tense. And just giving it a little bit of time, even this 30-minute stretch session will give you so good results. Right? Your results later on after this, hopefully you feel relaxed, calm, peaceful, and ready to go. Recharged is also a good way to put it. All right, other side. Whoops. Everybody just saw me drop my phone. Yep, there it is. Cool. Okay, set back up. Start my timer again. Boom, resume. All right, so again, 90 degrees. 90 degrees of the hips. You don't need that bottle, but it does help a little bit. Shoulders are stacked, opening up. I'm dropping my arm down because the table's in the way. Keep this pulled down. If you need to, this hand can help you keep that down. But my goal is to try to get this shoulder, get as close as I can to the ground without forcing anything. Lengthen and breathe. Every time you exhale is where you should be gaining that extra motion. If you inhale properly, you inhale using your diaphragm down into the belly. Then as you exhale, your body will release a little bit. Giving you a little bit more range of motion. Passive range of motion. This is not active. These are passive stretches. I came into this today very stressed, and so my body's reacting very well and very quickly to the stretches. Cool. Good. Both sides are done there. After that, we're going to stretch out the chest. Stop, timer. Please stop. Thank you. We're going to put 30 seconds on the clock. I wish I had a better way to show you guys how to do this stretch. Can I do it here? I do it off the desk here. Let me just see. Now, as a coach, sometimes we have to improvise, right? Normally it would be in a doorway, and I'm not trying to move my camera. It's a lot of work for me right now. But yeah, this will work. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, normally the stretch is gonna be up here, similar to this, hands in a doorway or something like that. But all we need to do is replicate this angle. And all we need to do is allow this pec muscle, this chest muscle, right, to elongate so we get a stretch on it. So what we're gonna do is, we don't want that elbow above the shoulder, just slightly below the shoulder. And we're gonna put that on the desk here. Let's go both knees on the ground. I'll start my timer. I got 1.5 minutes starting right now. And go until you feel a stretch on that pec. All right, so I got my elbow just below my shoulder, and I'm gonna push down into the ground. And now I feel this slight stretch on my chest. Perfect. Don't need to force anything. One thing I do want you to think about is not letting those shoulders come up. All right, so make sure your shoulders are staying pulled down, glued down to your back. And from there, when I did that, it allowed me to get even a little bit deeper into the stretch. I got a good spot right here. I'm just gonna focus and breathe into this position. I'm using my other hand to help support my body, so I'm not putting too much stretch on my chest. I'm also sitting on my toes to work on a little bit of toe mobility at the same time. I'm not breathing that well because I'm talking so much. That's fine. "20 seconds. Now my chest is finally starting to relax. I'm getting a lot more movement through this every time I exhale. Good. Everyone switch sides. Okay, so again, I said I was working on toe mobility. Okay, so I'm working on sit. If you can't do this, then put your feet flat. That's fine. But I'm just working on stretching out my toes a little bit. Get that elbow below my shoulder. Get a stretch on that chest. Make sure my shoulders are not shrugged up. Pull them down and back. Make sure I can breathe still. I feel my chest with a little bit of stretch. I'm good here. I'm just going to hold this position. You might need to go maybe higher, maybe lower. That's fine. You just need to find that position where you feel the stretch mainly on that front side of your chest near your shoulder. Right? We're trying to stretch out that area between the pec and that shoulder. And you feel this across your chest as well towards your midline. Just keep breathing. Ten seconds. One more breath, nice and slow. All right, cool. After that, we're diving into the lats. Lats are huge. Lats are big muscles that run along our whole back almost, and they are huge muscles that do a lot of work in different ways. A lot of the time, they're internal rotators, right? And so sometimes they get us really tight in this position. And then when we also game a lot, we're stuck in this position, we need to get them to be opened up. We need to get some external rotation into our body, and we're going to use the chair to help us with that one. I'll probably demonstrate starting with the chair, and then I'm going to switch to the desk, just so you guys can see how I don't think I'll be able to use a stick at all on the chair. Let me see. No, I will, I think. So there's different ways to stretch them out. If I'm trying to get some T-spine mobility, I'm not going to be rounding through my back here. If I'm going to do a T-spine, I'm going to allow my chest to drop through. We want to focus those lats and we want to stretch those lats. So we want to make sure that, we want to make sure that we're keeping that rounded position. And then what we're going to do, with the stick, your hands are going to go thumbs facing out. That's going to help those hands from internally rotating. Okay, we're putting them into an externally rotated position. Hands are about shoulder width apart. That's fine. Wherever you need to be. If you're closer, that's fine. If you're wider, it's also fine. Just be comfortable because you're going to get a deep stretch here. Stretch is going to be along our backside, on our sides, our lats. Get that rounded posture. We're going to bring that dowel close to us. Okay, that's going to help us get that more external rotation. And then from here, we're diving into the stretch. Don't let your back curve out. Okay, keep that tuck underneath. Keep those lower abs engaged. And then from there is when you're going to push that chest through and focus on getting that stretch to the lats. Not set my timer. Where's my phone? All right. Okay, timer started. We're going 1.5 minutes here. 1.5 minutes. Focus. All I want you to focus on is your breath. Okay. If you're doing a 4-second inhale, 4-second exhale, it's an 8-second breath. You will get quite a few of those in during this 1.5 minute stretch. These are one of my tighter muscles. I can feel that my right one is tighter and stronger than my left one. And as I breathe, I'm trying to expand my ribs. I'm trying to get some more stretching out of my breath so I can open up those areas and hopefully allow them to relax on a little bit deeper level. "20 seconds left. I already feel a night and day difference. was the last breath right there. Good work. Okay, turn the timer off. Reset. So that was focusing on these lats. Okay, you might feel we have assessments that we do as sports performance coaches, as personal trainers. Let me backtrack. If you're working with any type of doctor, any type of coach that is promising to get you better in any way, they need to have some type of assessment that they do on you beforehand to see where you're lacking in certain areas, and then an assessment that they do at the end of their training program to prove that they gave you the results that they were looking for. So make sure all coaches you work with have some type of assessment. If you have questions on what they're doing, reach out to me. I'll give you my best answer. If I don't have the right answer for you, I'll point you in the right direction. Okay, so we'll talk about assessments next week. That'd be a great talk for next week. My stick, I am going to be using it soon. I'll leave that over there. We're moving on to our glutes. Okay, so we're going to work on our hips now. We're going to start. We've addressed upper body. We've addressed pecs. We've addressed lats. We've addressed the neck. We've addressed the thoracic spine. I feel good right now, right? My upper body feels great. Now, all right, bye, chair. Get on my way. Thank you. Now we're going to start addressing the glutes. We did this one last week as one of our cool down stretches. So we're going to go into pigeon mobility. Okay, so start the timer on that one. Different ways to get started. One leg out. I like to have mine lined up on a tightrope, so my ankle is lined up with my other foot, or my foot is lined up with my other leg, and then from there I can drop this front knee down. Okay, and now I'm stretching out this front hip over here. We are at 1 minute and 10 seconds of this stretch. Okay, so I like to go relaxed on that back foot because we're trying to be relaxed here, and I just want to make sure I get this deep stretch in that hip. While I'm not losing out on my posture. Once I feel that stretch, now I'm going to start working, kind of get more in a different spot. Nope, that's the best spot for me right there. And I'm just going to try to allow my hips to drop down, to allow them to relax. I got 40, that was 20 seconds of me just finding the spot. Now I'm at 40 seconds of stretching, and we're just going to hang out and breathe. If any of these positions cause you pain, back out of them. You should not be in any type of pain during any of your stretching. It's teaching your body not ideal mechanics. You don't want to work through any type of pain because it's going to start compensating. That's just how the body works. My hips are releasing. This feels great. We got 5 seconds left, and we're going to switch sides. So when we switch sides, what we're going to do, we're going to go into push-up position. So if you can do this, go push-up position. Beautiful. And then from here, bring that opposite leg forward. And then now we're right onto the other side. That only took a few seconds to transition. This side is this is my bad side, so I definitely feel more here. I'm not going to overstretch it. I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting some good stretch on it. And I will actually stop talking for a minute here, and I'm just going to focus on my breathing to see how much I can get this hip to release. Oh, make sure that back toe's down, right, relax. Here we go. "30 seconds. Keep breathing. Taking care of your body isn't always about working hard. This is sometimes just as hard as a workout. Taking the time to take care of your body, especially after all the wear and tear we put on it. You only have one body. Okay, there it is. Good. That's my glutes. Now we're going to work on my hips. A lot of different ways to address the hips. We're going to go with, do I want to do adductors? Do I want to do adductors or do I want to do hip flexors? Let's just go with hip flexors. I know those are tight on my gamers. Definitely those are tight on gamers. You know what? We're going to combine two stretches right now because you can. and you can be efficient, right? That's always a good thing. If you can be more efficient, even better. It might be too high. Okay, so this is when I said that seat was going to come in handy. I'm going to go left foot first so you guys can see this side. So get your foot elevated up on a chair or a box or a bed or something, or you can even hold your foot. Okay, I can't hold my foot. That causes too much pressure and pain in my knee on this side. But we're doing two things here. We're stretching out the quad. Okay, so this is our quad muscle. By flexing that leg, by bringing your heel closer to your butt, it's going to elongate that quad. And then we're also going to stretch out this hip by trying to get our hips out of, so I'm in a little bit of hip flexion. I need to get out of that flexion and try to get into some extension. And as I get taller and as I think about getting out of that flexion of my hip, then that stretch starts creeping up into my hip flexor. Okay, so my chair, I can see in my mirror. I want the chair a little bit closer, get more of that quad stretch. Looks good to me there, feels outstanding. And timer is going to start now. Should have started already, all good. So a lot of people, this might be plenty stretch. If you need more, reach them nice and high. Think about tucking your hips under, so squeezing your butt. Okay, thumb test your glute. All right, it's working. That's going to put a huge stretch on that front side because only one of these muscles can be working at the same time. If I squeeze my butt, this guy has to start to relax. And that's what we're trying to do. Trying to stretch this guy out on the front side. I'm getting a little bit of a release out of it, so I'm going to go a little bit farther forward. Okay, I can feel that now. I can also work on an angle. I need to get more of this inside stretch. So I'm going to lean over, see if I can get more of. You can move around a little bit to feel where your body needs more attention. Okay, so especially in the beginning, if you're just new to this, you are exploring your body, you are learning about your body, and you are listening to your body. All right, that was 1 minute. Let's switch sides. Nine-day difference. This side is much more bearable. A lot less tension through my hip. Quad is still pretty tight on this side. The reason I'm saying these things is because this is what you should also be going through in your head. It's an assessment. Everything you do in your workout, you should be assessing it and paying attention to your body instead of just going through the motions. My glute, is it working? No, it's not working. Okay, I need to get, okay, it's engaged now. And then now I really feel a hip flexor stretch, all right? Because that wasn't engaged. So there's other things you can do. Make sure you pay attention. 15 seconds left. Okay, cool. So we did quads, and we did hip flexors, and we did glutes already. Now we're working towards the backside. We're going to address these hammies, hamstrings, ham hocks. Taylor calls them ham strangers because we never address them enough as athletes. Hamstrings are crucial. I like having a pillow just because it's a pillow. It's nice, right? You don't need it, but the hamstrings are really important. They play a huge role in the stability and health of the knee, as well as the hip. Okay, if they're not working, something above or below has to be working extra, and we don't want that. We're just gonna stretch them out right now. So if you have a rope, then either tie a knot on it, make it a single loop, or just get two handles and you can grab it that way. If you have a super band, you can put that around your foot. Make sure it's under the balls of your feet, so the two front parts, okay, all the way at the front. Make sure it's not too far because then it can do this, maybe. Nope, there, right, snaps off. If you're not comfortable with it being that close to your foot, bring it down a little bit, but we do want it we want on the top half of the foot, not the portion closer to the heel, because that's gonna help pull down on that foot and maybe get a little bit of calf stretch. All right, so what we're doing here, again, make sure we're trying to get it relaxed as we can. We don't need to over crank on it because look at my other leg. My other leg came up way off the ground. It's just too far. So I'm gonna focus on my left leg, See where it's at? Okay, good. And then now all I'm trying to do while keeping this leg straight, you might see it start to shake, and that's fine. I'm just gonna breathe now, okay? Keeping that left leg straight. Right leg is trying to stay straight. I'm gonna flex my toes towards my shin. Once you do that, you'll feel a much larger stretch behind your calf. If you're locked out your knee and you feel everything behind your knee, then bend that knee a little bit and force more of the stretch to go into the hamstring. By force, I mean bring awareness. Don't crank on your leg and force injury. Just try to feel the difference. Straighten out your leg. I feel that all behind my knee. I bend my knee a little bit, my hamstring gets a good stretch. Okay, and I'm keeping my toes flexed towards my shin. I did not start my timer again. I'm gonna count that as 30 seconds or so. We'll see how that goes. You can try not to be tense up through the shoulders. I like trying to have my hands on the ground, but still having some tension. My biceps are working to hold this band in place, but I want to be as relaxed as I can through my body in general. Okay, we'll switch sides. You can do multiple ways. We're gonna just switch like I would normally switch. Switch feet up in the air, get resituated, lock that leg out, start the timer. This will be a minute and a half on this side. So this side, I can already feel a stretch much sooner than I did on my other one. Again, because this is my bad side. So I am going to, once we get off the stream today, I'm gonna address my left side extra. I'm gonna go back and do it all over again because it shouldn't be this tight. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be feeling how it feels. It should be normal stretches. This is just me being vocal of what I'm feeling in my body, and you should be vocal with yourself as well, what you feel in your body. Now it's already starting to relax. I'm feeling less tension than I did when I first started. Really good. And focus on breathing. Look at that. Yep. 9-day difference again. Timer's about to be done, I bet. Where are we at? Yep, 8 seconds. Cool. All right, that's the hamstrings. Oh man, feels good. Feels good to stretch sometimes. You know how it feels when you get out of bed in the morning? You get that big stretch. Oh, now you're doing that for specific body parts. So you'll feel great after. Next thing we just did the hamstrings. We did the quads already. We're gonna do the calves. We kind of did the calves a little bit already in that last one, but we're going to double up. I want to show you guys how to roll out your feet. I know we've talked about this before. If you have that ball, grab your ball. If you don't have a stick, if you have a hydro flask, use a hydro flask. If you don't have that, you can literally, can you guys see this desk? Is this in view? Barely. I'll adjust the camera for a second. Okay, so option 3, you guys can barely see this desk. The lighting is horrendous in here. This is option 3. It's getting your foot on a surface that is going to apply some pressure. And I'm talking about the edge of this desk. Okay, don't overdo the pain and don't overdo anything. But what I'm doing, I'm actually smashing my foot. I'm relaxed. My foot's nice and relaxed, dragging it along the edge of that desk to work out some of the tension under my feet. Okay. Also clean your desk after you do this. So that's your final option if you don't have access to the other things that I recommended. Let me see if the camera's good now. Camera looks good. All right. We're going to the stick. We're gonna do 1 minute on each side. We got 5 minutes left. Perfect. We're gonna wrap it up. Guys, start dropping questions in the chat. I wish my face was in this, but it doesn't really matter. Ugly face anyways, you know. So rolling out the feet. The feet are connected into the calves, which is connected to the hamstring. The whole body is one solid body. Okay, so I'm gonna roll out the feet. I'm gonna do 30 seconds on each foot. I'm getting the inside, I'm feeling around for those tight spots so later I can go and address them. That's 30 seconds. Other side. I like the stick a lot. I really like the ball as well, but the stick is just like, it's tender. It's tough. It's tough when you don't do it every day as well. So it's harder to get on the inside of your foot. It's easy to get on the outside of the foot with the stick. You're just looking for those tender spots, and then that alone will just help with a little bit of the tension in the foot. All right, there's a minute. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go with a basic calf stretch. There's so many ways to do it. Let's go a little bit advanced. It's not crazy advanced, but we'll go a little bit. You're gonna grab your chair, whatever it might be. You're going to elevate your one foot up front, and our goal is to, this is really tall. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I think it's you guys can see a good enough image of this. Our goal is to get, while keeping this heel down, get this knee as far forward over those toes as possible. And we're aiming this knee to go outside of that middle toe. Okay, aim your knee to go over that middle toe, but if it goes wide, that's fine. It's better than it going in the middle. We do want to have range of motion in this position, but today we're just going to focus on the basics, and we're just keeping that foot flat, driving into that heel, getting as much distance over that front, those toes as possible with the knee. I'm keeping my heel down. You can use your chair to pull yourself inward. You can push down on that foot. Your stretch is going to be on the backside of this calf here, okay? Or not the backside of your calf, the backside of your leg, which is in your calf. Okay, we're going to go other side here. So again, left side, not my good side. You will definitely see a difference, right versus left. And that's fine. Remember, everybody starts somewhere. Or you might not see the difference, but I feel it. Okay, I feel a difference. I notice a difference. This is really good today. There's no pain in my ankle. So what I would do in my journal or my fitness workout log, I would write no pain in ankle, so I can track why. Okay, maybe I did something different yesterday. Maybe I did a certain stretch yesterday that helped with my ankle. Maybe using this chair is a better way for me to stretch my calves and my ankles. It just depends. Everybody's different. All right, so I'm just driving that front knee over the toe. Oh, weird. I'm using my computer chair. Weird. Could I be still chatting away in Champ Select in League of Legends when I'm stretching out my body? Right? I'm doing multiple things. I can even be getting a hip flexor stretch here. I can be stretching out my hips. I can be working on my ankles. This is the cool thing about once you learn all these different techniques, you then can have more to add to your tool belt. Guys, that is it for today. Let me get my seat back. One sec. Chair. Slide on up. Switch screens. Back to the lesson plan screen. All right, so guys, I'm shorter. Let's recap everything today real quickly. If you have any questions, please drop them in chat. You guys have been great so far. First, I want to give a huge shout out to Esports Camps for allowing me to do this, allowing me to preach the good message of health and wellness to the unwanted gamer. And then, guys, they're dropping a survey in chat. Please, 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 please. I am a huge fan of constructive criticism. I want to know what I can be doing better, especially as a sports performance coach. People sometimes get pretty mad at me because I'm just always critiquing them. I'm always saying, oh, you can do this a little bit better. You can do this better. But I always do end up at the end of the day, finish with a praise. I say, hey, great job. You did this really good. So if you guys can do the same thing for me, I would like some critique. Tell me what I could be doing better. And then at the end of it, round it up with, hey, this was great. I would like to see more of this. I would like to see more of that. Yada, yada, yada. That's a survey right there. Appreciate it if anybody could fill that out. Man, we went over today. We went over stress, okay? I feel great. I feel good. I mean, the more you do it, and the more you bring your awareness to it, quick little 30-minute stretch like that can actually change your day. I was already having a great day, but I feel recharged. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna go conquer the rest of my day. I got a lot more stuff to do, but I'm ready for it because I took that quick 30-minute break. Stress, okay? My stress levels have gone down drastically today. I can feel it. We talked about, and then we started talking about yoga, and then we did the stretching. So that was a quick 30-minute stretch session. If you guys have any questions on that, or if you have any questions on what you should do, if you have any certain things that are bugging you, please reach out. Love to help out. Again, my Instagram name is esports_performance, and shoot, hopefully I can catch some of you guys on the Rift. I need to get onto the Discord and see who is in the League of Legends channel. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds to possibly drop some questions. I want to go into League of Legends development camp. Competitive camp here. I wonder if I'm in the competitive. Hey, who's in chat? Is competitive, is there a certain rank, or is development like non-ranked and then competitive is ranked? Because I'm competitive, that's for sure. Gold to diamond? All right, I'm gold. Cool. Beautiful. And now I'm also in that competitive chat talking to them about health and wellness. Cool. Thanks, brother, for that information. I'm gold. I need to get to my goal is diamond. My goal is diamond this season, and yeah, I've talked about myself too much today. It looks like there's no questions. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Just continue to be 1% better every single day, and whether that means read 5 pages of a book or go walk for 5 minutes outside, do something different in your day to help yourself be a better person tomorrow. All right, guys. Hey, much love. Take it easy, and I'll see you guys next week for week 5. Take care, guys.